Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Let's go. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. NBA Bit on a Monday, huh? We got a busy one this week. We are inching closer to the NBA playoffs. We are so close to saying goodbye to teams like the Hornets, the Wizards, the Raptors. We don't have to figure out who the Sixers are playing anymore. We are so close to being there. So excited to be back for another week. Hopefully some more competitive games this weekend. This upcoming week. We saw a couple this weekend. We saw a fun Cavs-Clippers game yesterday. For those of you new to the channel or the podcast, thanks for being here. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast, give us 5-star ratings, all that fun stuff. Just some quick business off the top. We got Live Before Lock on our Elite Fantasy Sports channel at 5 p.m. NBA Bit, which you're here for right now, Monday through Friday this week. We also, the return of Hoop Sense later this week. We'll have some 89 Cavs. We'll have some baseball if you missed it on our Elite Fantasy Sports channel. We've got a new game week 2 of SORARE MLB winds up. Pitches on the mound, I don't know, whatever a baseball term would be, is this afternoon. So we did a video last night to get you ready. So there you go. There's the business. But we got our own business. Who's in the chat this morning? I see we got Sneeps here. Happy National Crayon Day from Snoopaloop, who is back from vacation. Welcome back. Common Man letting us know the Warriors legend, James Wiseman, and Christopher Walken's birthday. We got Stubbs. We got Contrabass. That's right. Let's go. Let's get into it. Also, the pin chat, we get another Splash Sports contest. Speaking of Stubbs, 2nd and 3rd last night, I think, in last night's contest. Well done, Stubbs. Well done. All right, let's get into it. Let me change the background here so we can get started, and let's go. Detroit versus everyone. Whoo, Detroit, man. I'm sure a lot of you tuned into the chaos that was the Pistons versus the Timberwolves game last night. We had some spicy meatballs, but my favorite thing that I saw from all of the fights, and again, I'm sure you've seen a ton of these clips going around, but this is my favorite. So first of all, let's zoom in a little bit. We've got a tweet here from Malik Beasley, who after the game tweets out "Bad boys for life." Now, this is from a fan's eye view here, and I'm going to just let you know Malik Beasley is right around here. It looks like he's right behind Coach Bickerstaff. Let's go full screen. Let's see how bad boy Malik Beasley is.
Oh, man.
Here he is.
There's going to be some ejections here.
Just chilling.
Get a Pierre.
There he is again. There he is again. Ooh, Naz Reid angry. This was hilarious. This was a fun fight. I would like to congratulate Isaiah Stewart, who has now moved into 3rd place in most technicals received so far this season. Let's do a little trivia for you right now. Who do you think is leading the league this season in NBA technical fouls? Who is leading the league in technical fouls? I gave you a hint that Beef Stew it's not him, because he's just moved into 3rd place with all them techie techs. Who do you think is in 1st place? I'll wait for the chat to catch up here. Let's see if we get Snoopaloop with the dub right away. Anthony Edwards leading the league in technical fouls so far this season. This fight was spicy though. This was like crazy overreaction stuff, both by Nas, Beef Stew, and Ron Holland, just fighting Dante DiVincenzo. I mean, everybody. Also, there's a lot of footage. Beef Stew getting a little handsy with Dante, it seemed. But this was a fun one, man. This just got me excited for the playoffs. Again, like I said at the top, we've just seen so many bad freaking basketball games lately. To get something like this, which at the time I believe was a pretty competitive game, a really big comeback from Minnesota. Actually, I wanted to show you guys one more tweet. Tweet over here. This is how Minnesota's took care of the win here. Ready? This is after the game.
Unbelievable. Fort's rolling. Look at that.
I think Nikhil Alexander Walker was doing it at one point too. But we'll give Ant the love. Yeah, they were trolling Malik Beasley and the Detroit Pistons with their little wiggle victory. Let's go over to the box score of this one, though. This was spicy, man. Like, look, Pistons get out to a 34-20 lead here. 14-point lead after the first quarter, then get outscored by 8 in the second quarter. But it was the third quarter where the tides were turned as the Timberwolves outscored them by 15, 38-23. They finished this game 123-104. Obviously, we should point out Cade Cunningham didn't play this game. He missed his 4th consecutive game. One thing I will say about Cade, though, it seemed like he was already ruled out. And then as the day went on, he went from like doubtful to questionable, and then he eventually got ruled out. But that is a good sign for the Pistons. They were also without Tobias Harris too. So they were pretty shorthanded in this one. But again, good win, good comeback win for Minnesota at home. Beasley took a lot of shots, man. 6 for 13 from 3. He had 27 points. Schroeder gave him a dub. Jalen Duren gave him a double-dub. If Tim Hardaway Jr. is playing 30 minutes, bad news Bears. He had 20 points as well. But on the Minnesota side, Randall, 26, 8, and 5. Look at Rudy Gobert, 25 boards. 25 boards. We were mentioning, too, on the fantasy side of stuff, that one of the things Detroit does really well is defend the rim and pack the paint a little bit against bigs. Now, again, they were missing 2. Like, Cade is a very big guard, a decent rebounding guard. Harris is good for a couple of boards. But I mean, he had basically a double-double on defensive and offensive rebounds. 19 points, 25 boards, 10 of them offensive. Ant-Man, a little bit better shooting night than what we saw from him recently. He had 25, 6, and 4, knocking down 4 triples. Old man Conley had 17. Gave him 11 off the bench. And Dante DiVincenzo, for somebody that was fighting a lot, had 6 points, 3 boards, and 3 dimes. But good win for Minnesota. And Detroit, I think, is, they're fine. They're fine. Do you think the fight will be a top shot moment? God willing. Fingers crossed. But, man, Detroit just seems not scared of anybody physically anyways. It makes me very excited. Like, these fights are happening when they play each other one time, right? Now, imagine you put the Pistons in a 7-game series where they're playing the same team every couple of nights. Oh, my God. I think the biggest thing to point out, no fans got punched, I don't think. That's good. Historically speaking, sometimes Detroit punches some people in the stand. Well, so does Indiana. So glad that didn't happen. Yeah, Pistons Indy is going to get wild for sure, especially because Indy's annoying. Beef Stew's annoying. That is going to be really fun. I'm just going to quickly look at the standings here because you mentioned Indiana and Detroit here. So we'll talk about Milwaukee in a little bit, but now the Pistons, even with losing last night or yesterday, are a game and a half ahead of the Milwaukee Bucks. And they're probably not catching Indiana, who they're a game and a half behind. So it does look like we are getting Knicks, Bucks, Pacers, Pistons. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. Timberwolves, on the other hand, in the 7th seed here, a half game behind the Golden State Warriors. But that like wet the palate a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Wet the palate. We finally have you can taste the playoff basketball, which is what we're looking for. Speaking of playoff basketball, I do not know how long the Memphis Grizzlies will be playing playoff basketball. For those who saw Taylor Jenkins on Friday, was removed from coaching duties. I saw all of the tinfoil hats out there. We're like, ooh, who did he touch off the court? Must have done something. Did he pull a John Morant, bring a gun to a strip club? Like, what happened that he would get fired 9 games before the postseason with a team that is fighting for home court in the first round, right? And that rumor quickly was dispelled, and then people were like, well, maybe Ja hates him, or maybe Jaren Jackson Jr. hates him, and that's why. And then that rumor, well, I mean, I wouldn't say it got dispelled, but all of the players, Ja, Triple J, Bane, everybody kind of spoke to Taylor Jenkins being like they were just as surprised as everybody else, that they were disappointed and seemed to have his back. Now, there's no upside for that. If they did want him out, there's no upside for them to just say like, hey, this guy sucked. Glad he's gone. You know what I mean? So I do think there's probably a little something there. One thing that shout out Fast Break Breakfast, Molly Morrison, The Athletic, a bunch of different people reported on this. One thing that I thought was important information that I forgot is that they basically fired all of Taylor Jenkins' assistant coaches last season. So all of the guys that Jenkins brought on board, they got rid of all their guys and brought in all new guys. So, and I mentioned this in the Discord, I wasn't super surprised that Taylor Jenkins was fired. I just thought it was going to happen in like 4 or 5 weeks after the first round of the playoffs when Memphis inevitably got knocked out. I think the timing, and for Kleinman, the GM of Memphis, to say that like this was an urgency play, basically saying that they're trying, like they want to win now. That's why they do it. I'm sorry. I don't think you fire your coach 9 games. Like if you were really there, should have done this a month ago. And then and a lot of people have also reported how they've been terrible since like February and haven't beaten like a team over 500 or something crazy like that in a while. So at Memphis, and we'll talk about their Lakers game here in a second, has continued to slide down the Western Conference. I mean, there's a real chance they're in the play-in, and then they don't even play a first-round game. But we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Yeah, Joker Rock, I'm with you. Mathology says, morning, Mike, one highlight over the weekend. I will give you a highlight. We'll take a little break here from basketball. I will give you a highlight. On Friday, after Live Before Lock, I got on a little city bike, biked all the way down to the Lower East Side. I got some drinks and some food with some friends. I ended up staying out way too late. I don't think we got home until 2 in the morning. I'm not built for that. I'm a man. I'm 40. I can't be hanging out that late. But that's what I did on Friday. We had a really good time. Found this place in the Lower East Side called Forget Me Not. Had a shrimp po' boy at like midnight. Whoo, it was fire. We had a really nice time. That was the highlight for the weekend. But because I did that, I basically did nothing the rest of the weekend. I worked on Sunday, but there we go. That's the highlight. Well, you give me highlights from your weekend in the chat. That's what I need. All right, let's do this Lakers Grizzlies game on Saturday. A lot of offense in this one. A lot of offense. Sorry, I'm on Sunday right now. The Austin Reeves, man. Remember when the trade happened, when Luka goes from Dallas to the Lakers, everybody was like, wow, where's Austin going to go? That might be the next piece that moves. How does Austin fit in this team? What does he do? Austin's been just fine. Austin's been just fine since the trade. He's carried the team when Luka or LeBron has rested. And then even when he's the third banana, he's the highest scoring guy on the team. Dropped 31 points in this game. Got to the line 10 times. Little SGA free throw merchant energy. 5 for 8 from 3. 8 for, like, dude, took 31 points on 16 shots. That's as efficient as it gets. Also had 7 boards, 8 dimes, a steal, and a block. Luka Magic dropped 29, 9, and 8. LeBron had 25, 8, and 6. Listen, if your offense is a little clunky, all you have to do, square up against the Memphis Grizzlies, because they will make your offense look like a high-flying bunch. On the Memphis side of stuff, Ja finished this game in 31 minutes. Tough shooting night, the opposite of what Austin Reeves did. 9 for 23 from the field, 22, 10, and 8. Desmond Bane, guys, I got to tell you, Desmond Bane's three-point shot, I feel like when he knocks down a three, it's one of the prettiest things. And I don't mean like the form is pretty. It's just, it feels like he doesn't touch rim ever in his three-point shots when they go down. Triple J. Well, apparently because the media has decided Draymond Green is winning Defensive Player of the Year. Give it to Dyson Daniels, you cowards. But anyways, Triple J 24 and 4, stealing a block as well. Edey with 14 11. I will say, man, Zach Edey's been playing a little bit more consistently, a little bit more effectively here down the stretch, but it hasn't resulted in W's. Here. Memphis giving up 43s a game, been ugly. Yeah, I mean, Memphis doesn't play defense. There was a lot of conversation around the offense being garbage and like they're not running any pick and rolls. They're like the worst pick and roll team in the league or something like that. And that is like Ja's bread and butter. And that might be part of the reason that Ja would have been frustrated with Taylor Jenkins on the way out. But I would so maybe we see a little bit more of that. Maybe we see Ja's numbers get boosted up a little bit. But that was a pretty big win for the Lakers, who, again, are fighting for seeding as well as the Grizzlies. And I mean, I expect Memphis to continue this bullshit. Like, they're going to fall down the standings here. We look at their upcoming schedule. They play the Boston Celtics tonight, which, by the way, I imagine if you want to watch that game along with everybody else, you can check it out on playback tonight with Weisberg and maybe our guy Sneeps if he's not working. So Memphis has just a handful of games left, right? So we got a TNT game. Oh, TNT on a Monday. Oh, it's because Final Four is tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Wait, why is the Monday night game tonight on TNT? I don't know. Anyways, whatever. They got Celtics tonight at home, at least. Not that they've been any good at home, but they're at home. Then they're at home against Golden State, who they famously hate, and that will be basically a playoff game because they're going to be deciding who's going to be in the play and who's going to be out. Then they go on the road against Miami, which Miami has been playing a little bit better as of late, but I still don't love it. Then at Detroit, which hopefully Kate is back by then. That's Saturday. Then they get a game at Charlotte, which they should win. But then they close out with teams all fighting for seeding. You're probably not going to see rest here. Minnesota, Denver, and Dallas. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If they go 2-6, they're lucky here. Because I don't see him beating Boston unless Boston decides to throw this game. Now that Cleveland got that win last night or yesterday, I don't think Boston has a real shot at catching them. So if this is the case, man, like they're going to be they're dogs against Boston. They'll be dogs against Golden State. They'll be dogs against Detroit. They'll be favored on the road. It'll probably be like Memphis -1.5 at Miami. They'll be favored against Charlotte. They will be even at home. They'll be dogs against Minnesota, dogs against Denver, dogs against Dallas. Even still, I think maybe favored against Dallas. But man, Brown and Jenkins were both. Which Brown? Which Brown is that? We're both fired to appease guards. So I wonder if Ja gets what Brown. Well, I don't know who you're talking about. I can't get there on my own. So help me out there, regulator. I mean, yeah, there was buzz on Ja not being happy and wanting to get out, and also Memphis not being happy with Ja. Mike Brown. Thank you. Yeah, maybe they do look around and move off of Ja this offseason. I wouldn't be surprised by it. But Memphis is in trouble, man. My guess is they are in the play-in. I mean, the good news for them and the bad news for Phoenix, which is one of the teams like contending for the play-in, that if they got into the play-in, they'd probably play him for that 8 seed, is that KD looks like, I imagine KD is done. KD rolled an ankle last night, and it didn't return from the game. Looked kind of gross. There's just no reason for him to come back for this Phoenix Suns organization, you know. Let's go back into some of these games from Friday here. Let's get caught up. Let's get around the league. Let me change this media assets. Let's also do a quick mental health break, huh? Because your boy's got to cough and take a sip of water. The allergies today are just devastating. We can't go down this road. We can't talk about like how you need to have had sex in order to have responsibility. I just think it changes you, you know? I think it changes you. All right, there we go. We're back. Yeah, everything is fine. Let's do a Friday. Let's see if there are any games that like really popped. Pistons beat the Cavs, which again, that's kind of why this let's just do both Cavs game. That's why Sunday there was a pretty big highlight on the Sunday game because the Celtics, I think, had moved within 4 games of catching Cleveland after the Friday night loss and Saturday win for the Celtics. That if Cleveland lost last night, that was all of a sudden going to turn up the lights a little bit. Shout out the Jared Allen meme here because Detroit, again, without Cade Cunningham, just gave it to him, man. Timmy Hardaway Jr. having himself a weekend, scored 52 points this weekend, had 32 on Friday against Cleveland. He went 7 for 11 from 3. All 5 starters in double figures, and so did Ron Holland and Beef Stew off the bench getting into double figures. But Beasley hit 3 threes. He had 19. Asar Thompson with a double-double and 6 stocks, 18 and 10, 4 blocks, 2 steals. Duren was 16 and 13. Duren's actually played pretty well lately, especially with no Cade. He's been kind of a consistent like 15 and 10 kind of guy. And then Schroeder with the double-double himself, 17 and 10. Cleveland, I thought, was relatively healthy for this. They had Garland, Mitchell, Allen, and Mobley. What's his name? Ty Jerome has missed the last couple of games. Mitchell, 12 for 24 from the field. He had 38 and 5. Solid game from him. Garland with 21 and 6 in this one. So Cleveland drops this game at Detroit. Then they get the Clippers at home. Clippers just a week ago took it to them, right? If a regular said if Boston gets to 60, 3 teams with 60 wins is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, for Mitchell forgot how to hit threes. I think they will be fine. I think they will be fine long term. The Cavs, like the shooting will come back. I think it's just a tough stretch. But anyways, this is a pretty big game. The Clippers decided to rest Kawhi. Kawhi, I felt like had played a handful of games in a row. They probably just wanted him ready for this this like last stretch of games. So they gave him the night off. I do kind of wish he was in here in this game. Cleveland had a very impressive first quarter, getting up 37-25, then kind of took their foot off the gas in the second quarter. and then did the same thing in the third quarter, winning it 37-24. They finished 127-122. Norman Powell, welcome back, baby. First half of the year, storming Norman Powell. 34 points, knocked down 5 triples, also had 4 dimes. James Harden's been playing great lately. I think since the All-Star break is averaging like 25, 9, and 6 or something like that. He had 24, 8, and 8 in this one. He went 4 for 12 from 3. Not great, Bob. But 24 points on 18 shot attempts. You will take that every time. Also, I'm glad Bogdan Bogdanovic is probably going to play some playoff minutes. I love Bogey, man. I get such a soft spot for Bogey, and he's like needed on this team. If you look at their bench, they're running out basically an 8-man rotation with no Kawhi, and my guess is with Kawhi, the 20 Ben Simmons minutes, which he had 4, 6, and 5, probably gets closer to like 15, and Bogey probably plays closer to 25, 24 minutes or whatever. But Bogey's been doing great work for him off the bench. In 30 minutes, he had 16 and 4, also had 3 dimes and 2 steals. So, it was an L, but like a impressive performance there. They dropped to 42 and 32. The Cleveland side of things, a well-balanced approach. Jared Allen having himself a last couple of days for sure. He had 25 and 12 in this one. He also had 2 steals. Mobley with 22, 7, and 4. He had 3 blocks. Spida had 24, 12, and 7. Almost a triple-double there with 4 steals as well. Big Spida game. Anyways, good W for Cleveland. They really didn't need this one because let's do the Celtics now, and then we can look at the top part of that, this top part of the standings there. Celtics played the Spurs on Saturday night, and the Spurs, they were feisty. Celtics kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit. Incredible quotes from Luke Cornett, by the way, after the game. Luke Cornett was speaking Spanish. He was talking about offensive linemen. Honestly, you got to be looking at wait, Black says Ty Lue is the problem with the Clippers. His lineups are atrocious. Dude, I don't think that's right, man. I don't think that's right. What are the other lineup? Who do you want him putting in there? Who is he playing that he shouldn't be playing? Or who is he not playing? You're looking for more Amir Coffee minutes? I don't know. Thoughts on the torpedo bats? Listen, I need a bigger sample size on that before everybody jerks off about these baseball bats. I need a bigger sample size. The weather was also incredible on Saturday in New York. It was one of the best hitting environments like ever. So I don't know. I need a bigger sample size. Anyways, on the Celtics side of things, Luke Cornett, look at this guy off the bench here. 16 boards, 7 offensive rebounds. He had 15 and 16 in this game. Jason Tatum continues to play almost MVP level basketball. He had 29, 10, and 8 on 10 for 22 shooting. Of his 12 misses, 7 of them were from 3. Drew Holiday had 21, 6, and 6. I will say one concerning thing after the game. Drew Holiday mentioned that they were he's just like the pinky. He's like, I just can't use my pinky, and that's kind of weird. So damn. Drew Holiday, hopefully he gets better soon. Black, going back to the Clippers thing, saying the guard, yeah, but they didn't have Kawhi in that game. They also aren't they like 8-2 in their last 10? We'll look at it. We'll look at it in a little bit. Also, hell yeah, Mathology. Thanks for joining, man. But anyway, Celtics get that win. On the Spurs side of stuff, Castle gave him 22 and 8, the soon-to-be rookie of the year. Keldon Big Body had 23 and 6 off the bench. Jeremy Beware the Sohan at 18 and 8. But yeah, let's go look at the standings. And this is what I was talking about, right? So Celtics are now 4.5 back with like 8 or 9 to play, right? I think the thing here with Cleveland, like if they had lost that game, they would have been 3.5 back. And all of a sudden, it's getting a little bit nerve-wracking because if you look at the Cleveland's upcoming schedule here down the stretch, they have, what do they have left here? They've got New York on Wednesday at home, then the Spurs in Sacramento, then Chicago, and then it's Pacers, Knicks, Pacers. So those last 3 games were a little bit tough. But this is kind of the point that I was making the other day when I think Weisberg was on the show or either in the chat saying that the Celtics have a shot at the 1 seed. It's just like, they really would have to let go of the rope in order to fumble that 1 seed. And like, yeah, there was a small percentage because they were playing pretty poor basketball on the West Coast and not knocking down shots. But I mean, the Celtics basically had to win out, and you need the Cavs to play sub 500 ball. And I just don't see that happening. But the Celtics schedule, right? We mentioned tonight at Memphis, then they're at 3-game homestand against Miami, the corpses of the Phoenix Suns, and the Washington Wizards. Then on the road for 2 against the Knicks and Orlando, and then real barn burners on Friday and Sunday against the Charlotte Hornets, where Baylor Shireman, Mike Zakarian, and Boston Base will probably be playing like 25 plus minutes for the Celtics in those ones. But so Cleveland, with that win, I think pretty much gets the 1 seed heading into the playoffs. But at least it made it fun for a little bit. They've been losing. What do you mean since Ty Lue has returned? Did Ty Lue miss a ton of games? Let's do this right now. The Clippers are 7-3 in their last 10. They're 7-3 in their last 10. I don't know, like, where was he? They beat look at this. Wins against the Heat, Hawks, Hornets, Cavs, Grizzlies. They lost to the Thunder. You've lost 3 games in the last 10, right? One was to the Pelicans. That was dumb. But then you lost to the Thunder, who is on pace to win 150 games, and the Cavs, who's already won 60 games. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Yeah, take the Boston Bay Thunder. Yeah, sorry, Sneeps. I should have said you. Anyway, Black, I'm sorry to get crazy like that. Trace Jackson at tier 2. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Call the cops. Let's go back to Friday. Let's see if we missed any other spicy games on Friday. We Hornets Raptors. We were absolutely not talking about this. Let's do the Bucks next. Bing Bong boys get a W here. Get ready to learn Tyler Kolek, who everybody was excited to play in SORARE. He played 17 minutes at 5-5. Mikal Bridges, though, kind of running some point. I know DeLon Wright was out there for 12-4-3, but Bridges had himself a good weekend. Had 26-5 in the first game against the Bucks. Then OG Anunoby dropped 31. OG's been awesome, by the way. And when I was allowed to legally draft underdog stuff because it was allowed in New York and now it's not, fix your shit. The OG's been on fire, dude. OG has been on fire. But the Knicks get this W here. This score makes it look closer than it was, but the Knicks were in control. Up 6 at the end of the first, up 11 at halftime, and then just kind of, stayed with that energy, that double-digit lead energy the rest of the game. Josh Hart just missed a triple-double at 13, 14, and 8. Giannis, still no Dame, right? So Giannis having to do it all. He had 39-7 in this game, while the Cougs had 25-3. Also got 25-4 from Ryan Rollins, but just not enough as the Knicks kind of get this W. And now, if we go look at Milwaukee yesterday, I think this was one of the more, like, whatever. You lose to the Knicks, you're shorthanded, but so are the Knicks. Knicks, no campaign. No Jalen Brunson, no Deuce McBride, which, by the way, Jalen Brunson cleared for basketball activities. We should see him return to the floor, hopefully sometime soon. But this is the alarming game. The Atlanta Hawks, you were at home against the Atlanta Hawks, and I know Atlanta is a good offensive team. I'm sorry, bro. You can't give up 145 points. Also, aren't you supposed to be a better defensive team if Dame isn't playing? Like, what is going on with Milwaukee? Atlanta here, Onyeka gave him a double-double. He had 13 and 10. Zachary Risache, he had 36 points. 5 for 11 from, look at him chucking 11 triples. 5 for 11, 12 for 21 from the field, 36 and 6. Trae Young, look at this 19 and 19 line. Terrible shooting game. 4 for 16 from the field, 2 for 9 from 3. And then Dyson Daniels, another 5-steal performance. Listen, I need the sheeple of the mainstream media to stop talking about Draymond Green and hashtag new media and the Baron Davis podcast and the NBA Centel. Like, all of you need to stop. Draymond Green is not the defensive player of the year. It is Dyson the Vacuum Daniels. Okay, he's got like 4,000 steals this season. Just stop playing around. We don't need to give it to Draymond and his gray beard. All right, it is Dyson time. Give the Atlanta people what they want. Give them a little bit of hope, a little bit of encouragement. Help them forget all of the moves they made. The fact that they took Trae over Luka. Let's do this with Dyson Daniels one time. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Sorry, Milwaukee in this one, though. Giannis, again, another 30-point performance, this time 31, 9, and 5. But after that, Kuzma gave him 25 and 6, and then it's gross stuff, right? They got KPJ. Wow, I missed this. KPJ, 28, 5, and 4 for the Porters. We'll do a Porter drop because I need to catch my breath after yelling about it. You're saying Mobley. That's fine. I can have the conversation with Mobley, but I'm a Dyson Daniels stan. I'm a Dyson. Oh, guys, I am a Dyson Staniels. You see what I'm doing there? I'm sorry this didn't come with a hand job. I just don't think it's included in the airdrops. It's stylistically, that's tough to include that in an airdrop. Beautiful stuff. Also, Regulator putting together like a poem of protest in the chat. Listen, I was sharing some protest stuff yesterday. Real quick, we can't be kicking people out of school for protests, for peaceful protests. You can't do that. Columbia, you should know better, dude. If college students can't protest, who the fuck can protest? Those are the only people that don't have to leave their job. You got a group of people in one place learning about themselves at the same time. They're the only people with free time to actually have their voice be heard. We can't be kicking people out of school for that. That's so stupid. If they're not doing anything, like if it's a peaceful protest and they're just occupying space, grow the fuck up, Columbia. What are we doing? Shout out Mario Savio, by the way. All right. Look it up. God. Yeah, I know, Joker Rock. I know. I gotta get to New Jersey. I really got to do it. That's true. I'm also available. Actually, that's not true. I'm not available. We're a busy boy. We are a busy boy. Anyways, Milwaukee screwed. Giannis is going to be on a different team next year. I don't know what's going to happen here. They've just been so unlucky, right? With Middleton getting hurt every postseason or Giannis getting hurt every postseason. Now it's Dame. And I know there was like hope that Dame was going to return. I haven't heard a damn thing about Dame since people were like, oh, he might be back by the end of the regular season. I do not think so. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Snoop. I'm sorry. I don't mean to put it out there, but I'm nervous for you, man. There was a clip. Oh yeah, Daniel. That's an error. That's an error on SORARE's part. There was a clip of Giannis getting real frustrated at a turnover yesterday, which I mean, like, but he was on the bench, like throwing a towel and stuff. Trading Dame is more like, yeah, but not if Giannis says, get me on out of here. He's already said, if we're not going to be a competitive team moving forward, then I'm only as loyal as our last win. And I'm being a little hyperbolic here. He's probably not getting moved this offseason, but I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be stunned at this point. If he says, get me on out of here, it's kind of like the idea of trading Devin Booker versus Kevin Durant, right? Booker's got so much more value than what KD has. And it's the same thing with Dame. I mean, Dame's had a good year offensively too. I'm not even crapping on Dame, but like you'd get, if Giannis is like, hey, I'm probably going to try to get out of here soon, you might as well get as much back from him as you can right now. But like this roster's old. You don't there's no upside of this roster. Look at it. You got Taurean Prince, Kyle Kuzma, Brook Lopez, and Ryan Rollins all starting next to Giannis. Brook Lopez is getting older. He's playing fine, but he's getting older. Kuzma, we already know what Kuzma is. Ryan Rollins has been giving him some good minutes. But then, Pete Nance, Chris Livingston, Tyler Smith, Pat Connaughton's playing 18 minutes. You're relying a lot on Gary Trent Jr. It's just, I don't love it. I don't love what I'm seeing from Milwaukee. If we go back to the standings over here, so they dropped 2 games, right? They are now 4-6 in their last 10, losers of 4 in a row. They are a game and a half behind Detroit. They're not catching Detroit unless Cade doesn't come back. So now we're looking at a Giannis to MSG for the first round of the playoffs. Now, I do think the Knicks are one of those teams who they don't defend anybody, and Giannis can just put up video game numbers, trademarked NBA Top Shot, hashtag NBA Top Shot this, that like Giannis could put up like 55 and 20 against like the defense of Karl Anthony Towns, Mitch Robb, and like, but without Dame, if Dame's not back, that's Knicks in 4. Maybe they steal 1, but that's a first round sweep. Like they can't, like they're giving up 145 points to the Atlanta Hawks. What's Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns going to do to this team? Just cooked. So Milwaukee's in trouble. Ooh, excuse me. That caught up to me. Let's go back to the scores. Let's see what else we got here from Friday. I think we covered most of the important ones. Suns, Timberwolves. So Timberwolves, I forgot to mention, let's just do Phoenix right now. So the Timberwolves they go 2-0 this weekend with wins over Detroit and Phoenix. KD has been on like a heater prior to getting hurt. He had 23 and 6 in this one with 2 steals and 2 blocks as well. Colin Gillespie outplaying Devin Booker in this one. Booker played 39 minutes and he went 10 and 6. He was a minus 20 on the court. Colin Gillespie played 26 minutes, went 9 for 11 from the field. Never forget. 4 for 5 from 3. He had a double-double, 22 and 10. You got 21 from Royce O'Neal. But on the Timberwolves side, regular season Randall, man, he had himself a weekend, 25, 8, and 6 in this one. Ant-Man, 4 for 10 from 3 again. He had 20 and 5. But Phoenix, man, they're in trouble. So they drop that game to Minnesota. Then they go over and lose this one to the Rockets where, again, KD rolled his ankle. They gave up 148 points. They gave up 148 points in this one. Shout out Jalen Green, by the way. 11 for 13 from the line, 9 for 17 from the field, 33 and 2. Freddie Van Fleet with 13 and 7. Alpy 16 and 9. Amon Thompson with almost a triple-double with 12, 10, and 9. You got Cam Whitmore in double digits, Jock Landale, Aaron Holiday, Jabari Smith Jr. all in double digits. Houston continues to just have no respect. Like nobody's respecting Houston as a 2 seed. Everybody wants to play them. And I'm with it as well. Also, though, like, listen, Jalen Green's been balling. Jalen Green has been absolutely balling. Let's see. Let's see his last 20 games. Jalen Green's last 20 games. Let's see what Stat Muse tells us. In his last 20, he's averaging 21.6 points, 5.6 boards, and 4.6 assists in his last 20 games. Yo, Jalen Green, contract might be a steal. He's balling. Let's see if it translates to the playoffs, right? I think their biggest concern, like it's easy to fill it up against a Phoenix team who doesn't defend and the game gets out of hand. I think the biggest concern for Houston, once we get into the playoffs, no matter who they play, is when we get to those last 4 minutes. If we get to those last 4 minutes of a close game in a fourth quarter of a playoff game, I think it's going to be like who gets a bucket for them, you know? And maybe it is Jalen Green. Maybe that's kind of the leap that we're seeing from him. Regulator, I encourage you to look at the agenda, the ticker right there. Braun and his son for Giannis and his brother. Who says no? Great call, Joker Rock. Great call. Maybe it's a 3-team trade. You throw in John Morant and T. Morant. Yeah, somewhere is Rocket is smart. Shut up, Rocket. Rocket Silas era, baby. An OG. I'm sure he's still out there collecting moms in a private Discord. All right, Golden State picked up 2 wins this weekend. I'm not really going to talk about them. I'm not going to talk about Toronto and Philly or Charlotte, New Orleans. Everybody's kind of resting everybody. The Knicks did get 2 wins. They beat the Blazers. Let's actually just kind of look at the standings here. Let's get a feel for everything. And then we'll look at tonight's game. So on the East side, we got the Cavs. This is basically set. In my opinion, this is set. I think we're going to have Cavs 1, Celtics 2, Knicks 3, Pacers 4, Pistons 5, Bucks 6. And then, I mean, whatever. Hawks, Magic, Bulls, Heat. We know it's like some version of that. Bulls 7-3 in their last 10, I think is the most spicy of all of them. Their schedule gets a little tricky, I think, down the stretch. Who are your, put it in the chat. Who are your 2 teams coming out of the play-in? Atlanta's kind of interesting, man. Yeah, Regulator, can you not see the ticker on the left side? Do you not see where? Am I the only one seeing the overlay on the left side of the screen? Yeah, right. Yeah, the Sixers, by the way, the one thing I should mention about Philly is they've kind of almost guaranteed, outside of 2 teams jumping them when we get to the lottery draft, guaranteed keeping their pick, which is pretty good. Daniel says Bulls are playing good, but they lost my parlay from 25 to 1.2. Oof. But anyways, I think I'm taking Atlanta. Miami's playing a little bit better. So is Orlando, honestly, but I think I'm still taking Atlanta and Chicago, but I don't really care. I don't think any of those teams are. I think Chicago is the most interesting team to make the playoffs, only because, one, they've been playing a little bit better. They play a chaotic brand of basketball, so I could see Chicago giving a team like some confusion, not actually winning a series or even winning a game necessarily. I think we could just see some tight games, you know? So I kind of want them. That's the one that I'd be most interested in seeing, but let's see. Yeah, exactly, Daniel, exactly. Though I think the most interesting thing to talk about, because I think Cleveland and Boston, obviously, I will have comfortably moving on to round 2. I do think the Knicks, Bucks, I think Knicks, if Dame's not playing, they confidently move on to round 2. Pacers and Pistons, though, I think is exciting. I think I lean. I kind of wanted Detroit to play New York a little bit more. We mentioned it last week, but the idea of the Knicks trying to figure out who guards Cade Cunningham, I thought was pretty, like, that would be a fun thing. And I mentioned this earlier in the show, but the Pistons do a good job defending the 5. So I just thought it'd be a fun matchup. But the Pacers are playing awesome ball. I guess I didn't really talk about them at all this weekend. Halliburton's on a little bit of a heater. He's been averaging, like, I think 22 and 10 since the All-Star break. And like the Pistons, the Pacers, if you just take out that first month of the season. Oh, OKC. They got smoked by OKC. 132-111. 33, 7, and 8 from SGA. God, SGA is so good, man. SGA is so good. Also, I don't know if you guys saw it. Jokic hit like a full court Euro step over the weekend. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is going on. Let's go over do the Western Conference here quickly. On the west side, OKC, just, a casual 13.5 game lead on the Houston Rockets. The Rockets, though, sneakily 9-1 in their last 10, winners of 3 in a row. They've got a 2-game lead on Denver right now. And Denver, who had been resting some guys there, they've now won 2 in a row. They're 5-5 in their last 10. But they have Rockets seem like they are going to get the 2 seed with only like 8 or 9 games left. Having a 2-game lead is chunky. Then you've got the Lakers here, who are a game and a half behind the Nuggets, coming off their win this weekend. But where it really gets spicy is these Memphis Grizzlies right now in the 5 seed, slated to play the Lakers in the first round, but only have a 1-game lead. We already went over their schedule where they're lucky to go 2-6, I think, down the stretch. So the Warriors, let's actually look at their upcoming schedule here and see who's most likely to catch them. The Warriors down here, they have Memphis, we just mentioned, on Tuesday. Then they're at the Lakers, which is going to be a very important game. Bet the Steph overs in that one. Then they're home against Denver, home against Houston, on the road against Phoenix, and then home against the Spurs, at Portland, home against the Clippers. So Warriors don't really have the easiest schedule either. However, I think if they can start this trip 2-0, that will give them a lot of wiggle room if they can get a win against Memphis and the Lakers. Let's do the Timberwolves next here, because they are right there as well, as you see. So the Warriors 1 game back of Memphis, Timberwolves just a game and a half back of Memphis. And that is, again, for the 5 seed. And their upcoming schedule here, down the stretch for the old T-Wolves, the Ant-Man, the Dantes, at Denver. That'll be a spicy game because they are on the road, but they seem to have Denver's number. Then at Brooklyn, dub. At Philly, dub. At Milwaukee, probably a dub. At Memphis, dub. Brooklyn. Okay, so what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 games left. This feels like 6-1 to me, right? This feels like 6-1. So Minnesota really has the best chance of jumping up these standings. Right? So that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun for them. And then the last one I'm going to check in on is the Clippers, even though Black thinks they suck because Ty Lue is back. The Clippers are just a half game behind Minnesota, which means they're only 2 games back behind Memphis, which is, again, kind of crazy that this is so jammed up. You see, their next game is tonight against the Orlando Magic. I'm assuming Kawhi is back for this one. And that kind of makes sense. They rested Kawhi against Cleveland because they were like, we need to make sure we get one of the next 2 games. So let's, maybe we get lucky against Cleveland. Let's make sure we're full strength on the road against Orlando. And then look at this home stretch. Pelicans, Dallas, San Antonio, home against Houston again, and then at Sacramento, at Golden State. So Clippers and Minnesota seem like they have the best chance at jumping up a couple of spots if they got lucky. I did see SGA's dad on was it that Gilbert show? I love it. I love that he was getting involved. So there you go. That is that is just such a spicy thing from 5 to 8, man. It's just so tight. My guess is Golden State schedule is the toughest. I think it probably goes Minnesota in the 5 seed, which means we could get Lakers, Minnesota, or Denver, Minnesota down the stretch. Also, the Warriors let's actually look at the Lakers schedule, because the Warriors are only 2 games out of the 4 seed, which is also fucking wild. And the Lakers schedule, if I recall, is not the easiest here. So they have just a handful of games left as well, right? So home against Houston, home against Golden State, then they get the Pelicans on the road. So that's, let's say they are, oh man, even if we say, then 2 at OKC, Jesus. And then Dallas, at Dallas, home against Houston, at Portland. So they got Houston twice, OKC twice, Golden State, and Dallas. And Dallas, you know, they still should be fine. Although Luka returning to Dallas there with a game that actually might mean something. So back to the standings. Let's just say, I think I'm going to go Golden State 4. I think oh no, Minnesota probably has the best chance of catching the Lakers. I don't know, but Memphis is for sure finishing at least 7, maybe 8. They're screwed. Didn't I say Gilbert Arenas? Did I not say Gil? Sorry, my bad. Only reason Memphis doesn't fall further than 8 is there not enough games left to do so. Yeah, that's probably true. Now, when we look at the 9-10 seed, the last 2 spots for the play-in, it's Mavs and Kings, and with you already see like the Suns are a game and a half back. Their schedule's still tricky, and most likely no KD. So this is it. This is like we no longer have to worry about the 9-10. 11 stuff like that's for sure. Like honestly, the Blazers might catch them. I guess the biggest question is who is home in that Dallas versus the Kings game. Dallas schedule not the easiest, but they look to be playing the best basketball. Tonight, what do we got for tonight? Tonight, Utah and Charlotte. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Utah and Charlotte. Charlotte 1.5 point favorites. Woo, tickets as low as -$5. Sacramento against Indiana. No, thank you. Clippers in Orlando, I think it will be like a fun game to talk about tomorrow that I'm not going to watch. Miami and Washington, no, thank you. Boston and Memphis, again, nationally televised game, which will be kind of fun hearing everybody weigh in on the Taylor Jenkins stuff. Then Chicago against OKC. Oh, Josh Giddey revenge. Brooklyn and Dallas, and then Lakers and Houston. So we do have the 2 TNT games. Shout out TNT. They got it right this time. We do have 2 good games. Whoa, Boston base. Thank you, Boston base. I love you. I love you. That's very kind. Regularly said Warriors have 8th toughest schedule. That's true. Mavs get Gafford and Lively back this week. Yeah, I saw that. Saw the old Gafford. Shout out to Mavs. That's going to make them a fun playing team potentially. And then Maddie says Zach Lowe, hat in hand. Yeah, let's do this really quickly. Hold on. Let's get to Zach Lowe. Zach Lowe announced top of the Bill Simmons podcast. Then he did his own little video drop today. We got the Lowe, not the Lowe post because it won't be that. The Zach Lowe show streaming too, putting that shit on Spotify video on the YouTubes. But that's great, man. I love Zach Lowe. I love him so much. Manny Harrison said, Zach Lowe, hat in hand to the Spotify offices, podfather. I stayed with ESPN like a good employee. Then those bastards fired me. So I said to my wife, for employment, we must go to Bill Simmons. I love it. I love that he's there. It sounds like he's going to get the McShay deal. Like, I wonder how much writing for The Ringer he does, or does he like start his own Substack like so many others? I'll be curious to see how that happens. But I was thinking about it the other day, man. I was like trying to find a podcast for my little dog walk that we were doing. And I like didn't have anything to listen to at the moment. And I realized that like this year there really has been like I listened to the Hoop Collective. I listened to the Hoop Collective with Brian Windhorst and Bontemps and Ban McMahon. Listen to No Dunks, of course. And then like sometimes listen to the Athletic Daily and when it's on the weekend, the Slam and Jam with Andrew Schlecht. And like, but like they and the Ringer NBA show, the group chat or the real ones, sure, I definitely like pop into that. But the Low post being taken away was a real bummer. And then the Athletic really changed a lot of their podcasts. Like the Athletic used to have like almost daily programming, which they still do, but it was a bunch of different voices. Like Zach Harper, he would host like a Monday show and a Thursday show, I think. And you'd have Marcus Thompson, who covers the Warriors pretty closely with David Aldridge. And that was a fun weekly show. And so there's kind of been like a shift. Maybe there was too many podcasts. Maybe that was it. Maybe the Athletic didn't think it was financially responsible to be doing it. I don't know. But anyways, all that to say, very excited for Zach Lowe to be back before the playoffs because I missed that. I missed the Low post, you know? So, and now it's with Bill Simmons. Should be fun. Regular said Hoop Collective is my favorite, followed by the Low post. Bill Simmons can be really annoying. Yeah, I mean, Bill Simmons, John Boy, our guy John Jackson, described it like this maybe like 2 years ago. He called it comfort food, and that is exactly what Bill Simmons is comfort food. I agree. I like his basketball stuff more than anything else. Like his football stuff I find pretty boring, but there we go. This guy gets it. Sneeps gets it. Sneeps is locked in. So is Boston Base. Also, I know I already said thank you, but thank you, Boston Base. All right. And Hoop Sense, there we go. Great job. I'm going to share the link for the for the Splash Sports contest tonight. If you want to get involved. Actually, no, it's pinned. I got it pinned in the chat. It's also in the video. But join the Splash Sports contest if you want. I took it down on Saturday, I think, and then our guy Stubbs Stubbs won Friday night, and then went second and third last night. Whoo, Stubbs cooking. Go join. Thank you, Joker Rock. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. And then tonight, live before lock at 5 p.m. over for SORARE NBA. For SORARE NBA for another exciting game week of garbage basketball. And then if you missed it, we did a baseball show last night. Where we talked a little baseball to get ready for the upcoming SORARE game week. Only took down one rare box. Hey, Matty Harrison, how did you finish in the? I know you said you were 3rd and 9th in the champion, in the rare champion. Did that late game come back and bite you, or did you survive? But anyways, yeah, NBA bit all week long, Monday through Friday, live before lock tonight. Hoop Sense returns probably Thursday. We're recording Wednesday afternoon, I think. 89 Cavs, hopefully Thursday afternoon, maybe. We'll see. You listen to a Belgian podcast about hoops, and then they had DJ Venga on. Wow. 6th and 14th. Hell yeah, man. Well done. Good shit. We'll be back. We'll be back a little bit later tonight for a little live before lock. Join the Splashy Sports. I think that's it. This was a good show. I feel good. It's a good way to start the week, guys. I'm ready. I'm ready for playoff basketball. We need it. Hope you guys have a great start to the week. We will see you tonight.